Hi guys, and welcome to our brand new series on the channel, our Blackpool Career Mode English Players Only. So a few days ago I asked you guys to sort of spitball a few ideas as to what our next series should be. Something long term, something enjoyable and something challenging. And you guys come up with some brilliant ideas, some very creative ideas, some challenging ones, some not so challenging ones, and there's a lot of ideas about. But this idea was suggested by one of our subscribers who goes by the name of Tom Cuthbert. So thanks for that, dude, and it's a really good suggestion. So as you can probably gather by the title, we are taking over Blackpool, a bit of a road to glory type thing, and we can only use and sign English players. So we're going to take over Blackpool. We need to, I don't think they have many foreign players, so we have to try and get rid of anyone who's foreign, or at least we can't use them, and only sign English players, and on a really tight budget as well, as you can see. So I will probably, for the first transfer window, just buy several or at least 3 or 4 very young English players, just for the sake of it, really. It's just then we have a bit more of a balance in the squad and enough players to rely on and to use. So I am excited for this series. If you are excited for this series, hit this like button for me. It'd be massively appreciated. If you are new to the channel, subscribe to keep up to date with future videos. And if you're also wondering why I took on this series, I am from Blackpool. I do not support Blackpool. Again, if you are new to the channel, you won't know this, but I support Sunderland, but I am from Blackpool. I know it's confusing. I do have a video, actually, which I will put there. I will put it up there, which explains why I support Sunderland if you are interested, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, let's get into it. I cannot wait to get this started. We're obviously going to name ourselves Jam Sane. And he shall look like, I don't know, looks like this. We'll give him that. It's a bit of a baggy suit, but you can have it. Legendary, 4 minutes, blah, blah, blah. That'll do. Perfect. And if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, yes, I have shaved the beard off. So I've got a bit of a baby face going at the minute. If you are new to the channel, I did have a little bit of a chin beard here. A bit of a pube beard is what a lot of people called it. But it's gone now, so it's me and the baby face, and you're going to have to deal with it. So here we are. Let's have a look at the pre-season tournaments. Again, if you are familiar with the channel, I don't do pre-season. I'll just simulate the whole lot. I'm not interested in pre-season whatsoever, just to get a bit of money. But other than that, not too fussed. So let's have a look at the expectations of the club. Low youth development, medium brand exposure, very low continental success, so they're not really bothered about what we do this season. Well, domestic success, sorry, and the financial is very high, because if you don't know the background and the backstory about Blackpool, I won't go into too much detail, but basically, if you can remember, a few years ago, it was quite a while ago now, they were in the Premier League, and they were probably the most exciting team in the Premier League to ever get relegated. The football they played was absolutely fantastic, but they did get relegated. And the chairman, Carl Oyston, the owner, sorry, he basically kept all the money. He didn't put any of it into Blackpool, and he's put it into different businesses of his own. So there's been a big hoo-ha about that. There are further developments that's happened since then, or probably since I've recorded this video. But just look into it if you are interested. Basically, he's just ruined Blackpool. They did eventually get relegated down all the way to League 2. They did get promoted last season, and here we are now. So, enough of that. Let's have a look at the squad. I'm not familiar at all with the squad, which makes it even more exciting, I suppose. So, I suppose what the more logical thing to do would be to have a look at the squad hub, just so then we can check the nationalities a lot easier. So, he's French, so immediately he has to go. Can we not put him on the transfer list? It looks like we can't. We must have only just signed him. So basically we just won't use him. I don't want to waste money releasing players. English, English, English. Scottish, sorry dude, you are going on the transfer list, even though he looks like a decent player for this league. Again, it looks like a lot of centre-backs may have to go. That is something that is relatively worrying. It looks like he's just joined the club as well. I won't release him again, but he won't be used. Jimmy Ryan, again, it's another player who we can't get rid of just yet. McAllister, we'll have to add you to the transfer list. This could end up being a lot more difficult than I thought. Do I have to pay for a loan to terminate it? 26,000. I don't really want to waste any money right now. We'll see what we've got left at the end, and then we might release a few players. He's going to have to go as well, and we'll add him to the transfer list. We might be able to make a little bit of money really, in the end. He's another player we can't get rid of just yet. Add to transfer list for you, Mr. Roach. So I think that is it for now. Let's just go back into Squad Pub just to see what positions we do need to strengthen. So we've got 3 goalkeepers, one of them we can't use. So we've got 2 goalkeepers there who are probably okay-ish for this league. Ben Williams might be able to do for the season. We've got 2 right-backs, which is good. Both 61 rated, so that's pretty decent. We can use Tilt here. He looks like a decent centre-back, but we can't use him. So we need to buy at least a good couple or even 3 centre-backs, really. Or at least defensive-minded players, unless we mess around with the formation a little bit. We've got 2 left-backs, that's fine. Don't need to touch that. We have 1 right mid there. We have quite a few centre-mids that I think we can use. 2 Englishmen there. Oh, we only have 2 centre-mids as well. We have a cam that we can use. Strikers, on the left-hand side, we do have an Englishman. 2 Englishmen, so the left-hand side's fine. So right now, I think we need potentially another centre-mid, a couple of centre-backs, and a right midfielder. How are we doing for strikers? We've got 2 strikers that we can use, or 3 there, sorry. 4 strikers. So we've got 4 strikers, so we're okay in that department. That is probably the most exciting part of the striking department, where we would normally sign players, but we need to be realistic now and just try and get some bodies in to the club. So I'll go and do a little bit of research now, a little bit of scouting. I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, so I'm back, guys. I've had a look around to see what there is. A couple of young English centre-backs. We've got Cameron Humphreys-Grant here and Trevor Chalobah. I think they are rated around 60-odd, 60-ish, which is fine. That's about our standard at the moment. And we only have, let's just have a quick look, because I haven't shown you guys yet, in terms of how much we've got in the bank. 1.5 million, so it's not great. So I'm going to hopefully try and get these couple of centre-backs in on a really, really cheap deal. Hopefully, anyway. Let's have a see. Okay, so we're having a chat with Mr. Conte now for Trevor Chalobah. 6'3" this guy is, so he's a bit of a beast, and he's only 17, which is great as well. We'll try offering about 300k. See what they say to that, which I think is pretty fair, mate. 370k. That isn't bad either. I didn't realise how cheap it actually was. That was a bit of a shot in the dark there. We'll try 340k. I'll be happy with that. He's a decent defender. Let me have him. Yes, he's happy with that. Fantastic. His wage might be a bit of a concern because he is playing for Chelsea, but we'll see what we can do. Right, he wants a rotation role. That's fine. We'll take that. He only wants a 1-year contract. I don't think so, son. You're sticking here for the rest of your life, mate. Right, or not. He doesn't want a 5-year contract. We'll counter that again. I like to do this. 4 years. Will he take that? No. Right, okay, we'll try 3 years. Will he like that? He wants 1 year. Come on, at least try 2. At least give us 2 years, son. At least give us 2 years. He's happy with that. 2 years, that'll do. He doesn't want a release clause. We'll accept that. That's fantastic. Now, let's see what he wants. He's not giving us any clues, but he is at Chelsea, so even though he is rated relatively low, and I think he is rated about 62, 63, he will have a pretty high contract for someone, a pretty high wage, sorry, for someone of his rating. So I'll try about 5k, see what he says to that. 4.1 and a few bonuses. We'll try and get rid of the bonus, and we'll submit that offer. That's fine. He wants a tiny bit more in his wage because of that. 4.4k. That is fine. We've made our first signing for Blackpool, and I think that is a really, really good one, if you ask me. Look at that hairdo, mate. Look at that hairdo. It's a belter, isn't it? Right, he's rated 60. He's only 17 years of age. English, which is obviously one of the rules. So I think that's a decent start. Now, can we get Cameron Humphreys-Grant as well? Okay, so let's offer a transfer fee for Grant. I'll just call him Grant because Humphreys-Grant is a right mouthful, isn't it? So we'll offer around... this is a difficult one when you're just guessing like this. I can't be bothered waiting for the whole scouting process to go through, so we'll just have a guess. We'll say, how about 380k? Can we push that one? Oh, he's happy with that. 380k. That'll do, son. Things are going swimmingly at the minute. Let's negotiate with him. Come on, son. Get to the pool. Right, we'll give him an important squad role because he will be, really. He's happy with that. He wants a 2-year contract. Let's see if we can squeeze him on a 3-year. I do like it if it's long term. He's happy with that. Fantastic. No release clause. Right, what's 9.5k a week? See if I can adjust this a bit, because these bonuses do my nutting. I'll take all the bonuses away, but give you 10k a week. How does that sound? It's 130k bonus. No, we're not having that. We'll just take the bonus down a little bit then, because I want to try and squeeze in at least one more signing after this. Right, just have it then. Have it. You've had me over there, because we might be able to make another signing. Well, we will be able to make another signing with the money that we do have now, and we do have a couple of players to sell because obviously they're not English, so we've had to put them on the transfer market. So that's two very solid signings, if you ask me. Chalobah and Humphreys Grant. So I'm happy with that. So we are looking a lot healthier in the centre-back department, although we still only have 3. And I like to have 2 of each position. So obviously if we are playing 4 at the back, we will obviously be playing 2 centre-backs. So I'd want another 2. And that isn't going to be possible right now, I wouldn't think, unless there is a CDM or centre-mid somewhere who can also play as a centre-back. I don't think there is, unless we just started sticking left-backs in there as well, or right-backs, or, you know, just to try and make it up a little bit. But this is why it's challenging. This is why I'm going to really enjoy the series, because it's keeping my mind going at all times. So we've got plenty of strikers, as we know. That's fine. We said we needed another right mid because we already have. He's only rated 50, which is pretty poor, but he's still a left mid. Colin Daniel, who's very versatile, he can play as a left back as well as a left midfielder. And we only had one right midfielder, didn't we? Yes, Danny Philliskirk. So we'll look for another right midfielder now. So for a right midfielder, I have come across this young man, Denon Lewis, and I think he only has 12 months left on his contract. So we might be able to get him at a bit of a bargain price here. I know he's got a little bit of pace about him from what I've seen, but I don't know much else. So hopefully, at the minute, we are literally just trying to get bodies through the door. It doesn't matter too much about the quality, just as long as though they are at a similar standard. So we'll try and see if we can get ourselves a little bargain here and try and get him from Premier League Watford. Okay, so let's try and offer, let's say, about 400k. See what they say to that. Surely it's a ballpark. Forget, yeah, he's happy with that. So everything seems to be going perfectly. I'm just waiting for something to go horribly wrong. But let's get into the wage and contract negotiations, and let's hope it goes just as easy there as well. Right, we'll give him an important squad role because I am going to be using him. I do like to use new players, so that will be the case. We'll offer him a 3-year contract. Is he happy with that? He wants a 1-year contract. Of course you do, mate. 2 years, just stay for 2 years. That's minimum I'll take. That's fine. He doesn't want a release clause. Brilliant. Now let's see what we can do contract-wise. Now, because he is a Premier League player, you probably will want a pretty big wage. We'll offer him, can we offer him 5k? 5k a week. Are you happy with that, mate? He wants 4.8 and a few bonuses. We'll counter that. We'll get rid of the bonus, and then hopefully we can make a move from there. 5.4k. We can afford that, so we'll do that. And now he is a player of ours, and as of right now, that is our transfer window done. It isn't fantastic because we're still lacking in a few positions, but that's probably the best we could have possibly done with what we had. We might have to wait on a couple of players to be sold, potentially be sold anyway, before making any other moves. So let's have a look at how our team could potentially line up right now. So that is how the team could look as of right now. All of these players are English, so that is okay, but there are still quite a few foreign players in there, and even once they're gone, we're going to be lacking in depth massively, so I'm hoping he is English as well, and he looks really good, so I'll probably stick him up top instead of Delfonso. But yeah, so this is looking like the base of the team right now. I'm not sure whether I will be playing as just a flat 4-4-2. I might do that just to begin with, so then we can get to grips with the team and get used to the team. But as of right now, we just need to proceed forwards and see if we do get any offers for the players that we don't need. Okay, so we have just received an offer for Clark Robinson. He's valued at 300k. He is Scottish, so we don't need him. His market value is between 180 and 260k. They've offered 240, which isn't too bad. I'll try and negotiate to get a tiny bit more just because I'm really stingy like that. And if we do get a bit more money, we might be able to squeeze another player through the door. Possibly a centre midfielder, which is something we desperately need, or an attacking midfielder. See what they say to 300k. Might be pushing it a little bit, but we shall see. Okay, yeah, they're happy with that. 300k. So let's hope that the contract talks between Clark Robertson, and Doncaster go through successfully. But for now, we need to simulate through the pre-season tournament game against Carpi. Let's hope we don't get any injuries. That'll do. A 1-0 win. And we will get a bit of money as well from the pre-season tournament, which will help nicely. There's another offer coming in for Clark Robertson. We'll just reject that one. I don't want to confuse things. Okay, we have now received another transfer offer for Will Aimson, the Welshman, so obviously we can't use him. He's worth 230k and they have offered 220, which I think is really good and really fair. I'll try and get another 30 or 40k out of them. So let's say 280, 285k just to be a little bit cheeky. Is that okay, guys? 270k they've offered and I shall accept that. So things are going really nicely, guys. I'm loving this episode. Nice and chilled. Everything's going nicely. Why do I keep saying that? I keep saying it, and I know for a fact it's all going to go wrong. But now we do play Perugia. I think that's how you say that one. Can we get ourselves a win? Of course we can't. We lose 2-0. Doesn't matter. It's pre-season. Don't care. So Clark Robertson has been sold. 190k has been allocated to our transfer budget. We're just waiting on Will Aimson for his transfer to go through, because as of right now we only have this amount and I'm not too sure who we could get for 140k. We probably have to get someone who's rated like 54 or something, and I know we're not trying to get massive quality in the squad, but I do want someone who we could at least potentially use. Now we are playing Venezia, I think that's how you say that one. Can we get a win? We win 1-0 and it's Aguirre. I'll say Aguirre for time being before one of you guys correct me in the comments. And Will Aimson has been sold. I've just seen the notification at the top of the screen. So we might have a little bit of money to play with now. 667k, which is very decent indeed. So we can get ourselves a half decent centre midfielder now, hopefully. I'll just have a look around and see what I could do. So this is the player I'm looking at right now. It does say he's a centre back, but he can also play as a CDM. So we'll probably most likely play him as a CDM because he does have a bit of pace about him. He's quite strong, he's very aggressive, and I think I have actually purchased him in a previous career mode away from the camera anyway, and he is a pretty decent player if I remember correctly, so he's very versatile. I think that would be a very, very nice signing indeed, and he only has 12 months left on his contract, which could prove to be a vital thing in getting this player on the cheap, which is what we're doing. We're just scrounging at the minute, which is something that we're not used to doing on this career mode because we normally have quite a bit of money to play with, so that's why I'm quite enjoying this challenge, guys. It's quite refreshing. Right, okay, so I'll offer 460k. This could prove to be a bit too cheap. Oh, he wants 480k. That will do. I'll accept that, mate. Again, it's going great, guys. It's going really, really well. So we'll negotiate with him. Can we get him on a cheap wage as well? I think we might be able to because he's not a Premier League player and we won't have to overpay too much for him, I wouldn't think. He is going to be an important player indeed. He wants a 2-year contract. I'll counter that. He's staying for 5 years, son. No, he's not. He still wants a 2-year contract. We'll go for 3. That'll do. Please just say 3. He will. 3 years. That'll do. He don't want to transfer or release clause, so that's quite good as well. And I will offer him 2k a week because I'm sure he won't be on much more than that, surely. He's happy with that. That's perfect. 2k a week. We've just got ourselves a decent versatile player in concert. We're doing really, really well with these signings, guys. I'm really happy with every single one of them, to be honest with you. They're not the most exciting because I know that they are quite defensive with 3 centre backs, really, even though we are going to be playing concert as a CDM, but the plays that we really, really need. So I'm happy with that so far, guys. We might end up having another couple of transfers outgoing, which will give us a bit more money. But for now, I will simulate this next game, but I'm just going to put Concert into the team. What a beast he is. Let's have a look at his stats. His sprint speed's pretty decent as well. Is he a big fella? He's 6 foot. I like a bit larger players, that sounds weird. Taller players. I like larger players. He's got a little bit of strength about him as well. So that will do nicely. Really happy so far. Now let's go into this next pre-season game against Wolfsburg, but not the Wolfsburg we know and love, but let's see if we can win. We can't. Taylor gets injured, which is something I've really been trying to avoid in this pre-season tournament. Let's hope it's not too bad, because we can't be doing with any injuries this season as of right now with the lack of depth we've got in this squad. And he's out for 7 weeks, which is a bit of a blow, but we do have a little bit of backup in that position, I think. But with the money we have just received from the pre-season tournament, we do have a little bit of money left. We could potentially get another player, so we'll have a look back at our squad and see if there's anything else that needs strengthening. Well, everything needs strengthening really, but we just need as many bodies, as many English bodies through the door as humanly possible. So centre mids, we only have 1, 2, and then obviously we have Concert, who we've just signed, who will probably rotate between a centre-back role and a centre-mid role. We could look for a more attacking midfielder. Strikers were absolutely fine. I would love to go out and buy a little striker, but we really are doing absolutely fine for that. We've got Clayton, Vassell, Aggie. I really don't know how I'm going to say this. I don't know how I'm going to get over this guy. I might just call him Aggie. I'll call him Aggie. That's a decent nickname, isn't it? And Mark Cullen as well. So we've got 4 strikers. That's fine. So I think a cam is probably what is next on our list. So the centre mid / cam I am going for is Joe Aribo of Charlton Athletic. Youngster, who I'm pretty sure I have seen his name knocked about here, there, in everywhere. I think it was more last year where I heard his name a little bit more. Over social media and stuff like that. There was a bit of hype about him, so he must be pretty good if some people have said his name a few times here and there. But anyway, let's see what we can get in terms of transfer fee. We shall offer 450k. How does that sound? 650k. No, we can't do that because then we'll have no money left for the contract. We'll try 500k. 540k. That could probably work, to be fair. We'll probably be able to squeeze in his contract and his wages. We'll try 520 just to be cheeky. That will do. 520k for Joe Aribo. We'll go into his contract now. We'll give him a 2-year contract because he doesn't want anything else. And we'll see how he likes 2,000 a week. How does that sound? Okay, well, he wants all these bonuses, but we can just afford it anyway. So we'll accept that, and that is another signing through the door. I am so happy with this. How many times can I say it? Let's stick him in the squad. I'm really buzzing. So there we go. We do have a little bit of versatility there. Aribo is there. We could also put Spear in there, who's probably one of our highest rated players. Yep, Spear in there, rated 69. So we could rotate quite a lot here now, guys. I'm pretty pleased with the way the transfer window has gone and the way it's treated us so far. And now we have received a transfer offer for Jim McAllister, the Scotsman. I'll accept that, 200k, that'll do, just to get him off the books. So hopefully that goes through nicely as well. And McAllister has officially been sold, and this is the budget we are left with. I might even just use that budget, because it's only small, just to cover releasing players and sending players back from back on loan to where they've come from, because obviously they're not English and stuff like that. So I'll just quickly do that now, so then I know where we stand in terms of how many players we can actually use, because it'll annoy me, because I might accidentally use a player I'm not allowed to. So I've just got rid of the players that I can get rid of, but now I have released too many players. It's stupid how it only allows you to release 2 players every season. So there are going to be a couple of players that are going to be annoying me a little bit, still being there in the squad, and we've only just signed them. Or Blackpool have only just signed them this season, so we can't get rid of them. So we're going to have to just ignore them for the season. So this is the squad as of right now. We have signed Aribo, Lewis, we've signed Humphreys Grant, we've signed Chalobah, and we've signed Concert as well. Do you think that those are good signings, guys? I think they're pretty decent. Let me know in the comments. And this is where I am going to leave the episode as well, guys. And the next episode, we're going to get stuck in to the season. This is the transfer window done, I think, for us. We'll have to wait and see if we do manage to get some more money from somewhere. But if you are buzzing for the series, guys, please smash that like button for me. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sarnie Army. The channel's Instagram account is in the description below, so be sure to follow that for early updates on upcoming content. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.